Corsairs, sponsored by Trust. My name is Luke Jordan, and to my left, famed GBS broadcaster Dylan Ward. Dylan, would you like to explain yourself while you're in the cover spot instead of as of usual?
Absolutely, Luke. For everyone out there, I just have a really bad cough right now. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make the game today. Luckily, Luke swooped in and picked up the play-by-play spot for tonight's game. He is great. I've worked with him a handful of times on the SHL network, and he's going to give you a good show. And I'm still here. I'm still part of the show, but I'm just going to be doing the color side tonight to give my voice a rest. And I'll be back on Monday night for the game against St. Ignatius. But tonight against Carmel, we'll get Luke Jordan.
Yeah, we were both here when Glenbrook North played Glenbrook South. That was game 3 in the SHL semifinal, if I stand corrected. That was a very fun game.
Yeah, overtime winner for Wyatt Sherwood in that one. I'm sure a lot of parents of returning varsity players remember that one from that season back in March.
And speaking of coughs and chokes, surprisingly, Carmel was a cough and choke in Glenbrook South's schedule last year. I mean, they beat them 2 out of the 3 times. What do you think went wrong there, Bill?
Well, you know, you look at that schedule, and GBS, even in the one win, they had a little bit of trouble. They were down 2-0 going into the 3rd period, and they came away with a 4-2 win in that game. But 3-1 final scores the other times. And, you know, the most memorable one is that senior night loss at Glenview Ice Center last year. If you ask me what I think went wrong, I think it might have been GBS coming in to play a team that they thought that they were going to have an easy time with, and it didn't turn out to be that way. I know that first 3-1 loss against the Corsairs was the first regulation loss of the season.
Yeah, I can tell you what, as a hockey player myself, you totally can trail off, not play as hard as you typically do when you think something is given. And in this sport, in any sport, nothing is given. So you just got to really mentally build yourself up to that aspect. And Glenbrook South is looking to do that this year. Very similar hype for this team like last year.
Yeah, and you know, the big reason they were so good last year was the wingers and the defense. And now this year, it's kind of a different story. You have the offense scoring in numbers. GBS with 6 goals in their first SHL game this season and 8 goals in their second. So they look to get back to the goal-scoring ways after just 1 goal against Loyola last weekend.
The first period is brought to you by The Great Escape. And now look at your starting goaltenders for the home team, the Glenbrook South Titans. It's number 31, Eli Kamens. He was the backup of the SHL Goalie of the Year, like you were talking about, Luke Winger last year, and now he gets to step up and make his statement at the starting position. Over for the Corsairs, it's number 31, Gavin Stanley, a .420 goals allowed average and an .875 save percentage. 1-2-0 total record as the puck drops, and we are ready to go here in Glenview. Titans Corsairs here. Freemuth coming in hot. It's an immediate 2-on-1. He fires one blockered away by Stanley. Sherwood pressured on the far side. The Titans coming out fast.
What a pass there by Marty McCauley right out of the gate to find Freemuth, and his speed. I mean, I think a lot of people in the rink thought that that was a sure goal.
Pass ends up in the skates of Freemuth and moved up to Hoffert. Coughed up top of the circle, taken back by Freemuth and shot just wide left of the post as it's rang back around, and Carmel looks to break out. Taken away, thrown across, attempted for Freemuth, no work. Tutsias moves it to Freemuth. Back to Tutsias, a fire on pad save. Immediately shelling Stanley with shots here. 3 shots in the first minute of hockey. And this will be cleared. It comes right at Kamens, just wide, so it will go for an icing, and it'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Titans.
Luke, one player I want everyone to watch out for wearing white tonight on Carmel is going to be number 92, Deacon Rose, a junior, has been on this varsity team since he was a freshman, and he really knows how to light it up. A sort of a slow start to the season with just 1 point, a goal in the first 5 games for him, but expect him to be among the point-scoring leaders on this Carmel team as the season goes along.
And one of the leaders on this Carmel team, Ligori, had it. He eventually lost it. Ligori leads the Corsairs right now in points with 4. Turnover caused by the Titans. A nice little toe drag there from Vanderplug. Trying to make another move as he gets to the backhand and just dishes it wide. Puck stripped away to the middle for Kulikowski. Didn't get the connection he wanted there. Ventura on the far side trying to cycle it down low. Ligori takes it for the Corsairs. Now to the point. In front, Ventura fires wide. And I mean, that's at least 7 shot attempts now. Make that 8. That one on goal and covered by Stanley.
Unbelievable effort there by the sophomore, 23 in gold Vanderplug. And last season, you know, he's a defenseman, and he spent a lot of time back up on the point and didn't really get involved in those attacking looks. But this season, he's shown a number of times those sweet moves to drive the net, and he scored once or twice doing that so far this season, so good to see.
And they score! Davidson right in front in the low slot. Gives the Titans a 1-0 lead early into this one. 2 minutes and 6 seconds is all it took. And the Titans are on board first.
Pierce Davidson, that's got to feel good for him. The only skater on this team yet to record a point in SHL play this season on a great pass from his now second year on the line with Dylan Monaghan. And he made no mistake. He got rid of that puck in a hurry, and not enough time for Gavin Stanley to react. Good start for the Titans.
A very quick one, bringing a lot of pressure to Stanley and the Corsairs defense, as they're going to try to break this one out successfully. They do so. Here's Dick down the right side, putting it down low. Everybody shoveling at it. Corsairs had it for a second. That was Browse. Trying to protect the puck here. Shovels it in front, loose. Kamens has his pad on it, and we get a whistle. Great stand by Kamens, and it stays scoreless on the Corsairs side.
Luke, you talked early in the broadcast, early in the game, about GBS out shooting Carmel 5-0. Well, Kamens gets his first touch of the puck right there, and he had to be alert, covering that near post in an ambush from the white sweaters, and he holds his ground.
Yeah, that is definitely no warm-up shot, to say the least. Vavra. Stripped of it. Now Freeman. Breakout unsuccessful for the Titans. And now McCauley. Stays with the puck here. Trailing down center ice, puts one on. Blockered away by Stanley. Bounces right in front. Nobody there for the rebound. And here's a 2-on-1 erupting for the Corsairs, but Tutsias says no before it can even happen. $13:40 to play here in the first period. Carmel and Glenbrook South meeting for the first time. Only 2 meetings scheduled this year. And Dylan, I would assume that's now because of the 11 teams instead of 10 teams.
Well, actually, Luke, that there is supposed to be a third game on there, but I know that they made a scheduling error and scheduled that at a time that one of the teams has a tournament or something. So I know that they're working to get that rescheduled.
So for now, the temporary second game between these two teams would be December 6th. So they'll get to play one more time against each other, at least in the year 2023. Gamble off the successful draw for the Corsairs. Puts it at the side post. Bouncing all over the place. And now taken out by Sherwood. Sherwood with speed. Trying to slide it across. Takes a redirection to Stanley. And we get a whistle nearly 4 minutes into this matchup.
Well, for those of you keeping score at home, they gave an assist to Benji Pajerski on the Davidson goal. However, I do believe that was Dylan Monaghan that passed it. Gonna have to take another look at the video.
Loose puck tapped in, they score! The Titans jump out to a 2-0 lead. And that appears to be Wyatt Sherwood.
Yeah, that was Will Stevens that took the shot right in front by the blue paint, excuse me, folks. And Steiner made a partial save, but the puck just ended up sitting there and crashing the net immediately. I was looking for a gold sweater as soon as I saw the puck sitting in the blue. And right there was Sherwood, and he raced in and batted it home. And the Titans looking good so far early in the game.
Yeah, definitely bringing the net presence. 2 goals, one within a foot of the crease and the other one right in the blue paint, right there for the rebound. And that danger zone is going to be where a lot of Titan goals can happen, a lot of goals in any team's fashion, as this one flies into the netting right near us. A whistle with 12:52 to go.
And folks, I just fixed something here on the mixing board. I understand the audio was there, but it was just a little bit low, so I think I've got that fixed. Gerard gives me a thumbs up, but if you want to leave in the chat if the audio is sounding better, just so we know, that'd be great.
Nice little no-look pass to Ross, who drops it back. Now slid across to Falco. A backhander put on, and a blocker save from Kamens. 4th save of the night for Kamens. Here's Freemuth racing the other way, fires it just wide. Freemuth has had a couple chances, just unable to connect so far. Smooth breakout operation. Shot ripped on wide. Leister and Freemuth in a battle for it. Now Sherwood, the 2nd goal scorer, trying to slide across and get an apple to add on to his resume. We get a whistle. The right post came off.
Luke, just before that whistle, we saw another really close chance for Zach Freemuth. Last game for the Titans on Sunday against Loyola Gold, a 5-1 loss. That ended a mind-blowing streak of a goal, at least a goal, in every game Zach Freemuth has played this season, in or out of the SHL. So that includes 6 non-league games on top of that.
Yeah, that is a crazy stat.
Uh-oh, I'm not getting you sick, am I?
No, I've had something going on with me for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm also coming off of the soccer game I called last night. So.
Oh, yeah. Made it onto SportsCenter Next. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, unfortunately, not my team that scored, but my voice on SportsCenter, I guess, is pretty cool.
Well, you know, we don't like the team that scored very much either over here on the South Hockey Network.
Yep, I was calling the Palatine Glenbrook North Sectional Championship soccer game. Awesome experience, by the way. I've never seen that many people there for a soccer game, especially a high school one.
Yeah, that's excellent. Soccer is a great sport. I feel like hockey fans hate on it for no reason, but if you're a hockey fan and you hate on soccer, give it a try. Give it an honest try. Watched a great game today, El Clasico, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Gotta love that stuff.
Draw one back by the Titans. Tutsius just trying to poke it forward for his teammate. No icing away by the official. And a throw in front to make it 3-0. Still loose. Net comes off as I believe the pads of Stanley kind of push the net back. Or there was some sort of contact on the post. One of the two, either way, we get a whistle. Glenbrook South already had 10 shots with 11:09 to play.
And, you know, the referees love that Stanley made the save there because then they wouldn't get barked at by either team as to whether that should have been a good goal or not, because even though the net came off, it was a great save by Stanley. Again, it wouldn't have counted either way, but good to stay with the play for the goaltender in net for Carmel.
One-timer and a big save from Stanley coming across from post to post as he's been getting shelled so far.
Man, the one-timer from the right circle all alone, and you said it, dives from post to post. Both goaltenders have been good tonight, both wearing the number 31. Kamens with 4 saves on 4 shots, and you know, Stanley, maybe he has 2 goals allowed on 11 shots, but he's made some great stops early on.
Yeah, and this Glenbrook South offense at home has been quite scary, now outscoring their opponents 8-0.
Yeah.
Through not even
true.
4 periods.
Very light home schedule this year. I think the Titans ended up playing their first 9 away from Glenview Ice Center, some of those neutral site tournament games, but still, feels good to be back home for just the second time this season.
Yeah, crazy to think. Glenbrook South, unless you weren't there, they had the 6-0 victory over Fenwick last time they were here. Looking to make their record at home 2-0 with the 2-0 lead.
Here's Rose.
The man to watch out for. Played well by McCauley. Rose not giving up on the forecheck. And still Glenbrook South escapes with a nice breakout. Pajerski lost it to Gornick as it's flipped over. Monaghan. Beautiful pass to Pajerski. All alone now with Stanley to his forehand. He scores! 5-hole to make it 3-0 Titans.
Luke, what a pass is right. Benji Pajerski from the blue line. Talk about his move just for a second. 5-hole. And you love the patience from, you know, a player here at the high school level. Luke, I know you play. I'm assuming you guys are really interested in those top right and left corners.
Oh, yeah.
Looking real fancy on the breakaway, but real nice patience by Pajerski to find the open 5-hole. And who was that on the pass? Dylan Monaghan?
I believe so, yes. And boy, that was a perfect pass, perfect placement, and Pajerski was coming in with quite some speed, got right by the defensive gap, and a beautiful setup, as I believe head coach P.J. Eberhardt calls a timeout here. He knows his team can perform better.
Yeah, and the Titans are on pace here to score over 6 goals in this period. It's the right call by head coach P.J. Eberhardt. Great guy. I know he's probably going to be using this film. He talked to us pregame. Always been one of my favorite coaches to have a chat with before a game. I've talked to a lot of coaches here in this league overall, but yeah, he needs a timeout right now. And Luke, what are you saying to your guys right now if you're in this spot, if you're Carmel?
Well, I mean, definitely got to use some aggression. Tell them there's still plenty of time to go. You guys got to get your stuff together. Well, to make it PG. But, just push them and draw up stuff. There's clearly things that are not working for this team right now. They might be trying to draw up a different forecheck, a different breakout, whatever can get by this Titans defense that has been known for being a great defense for the past few years.
Yeah, GBS, I think, allowed an average of 2.8 goals against per game last season. And, a lot of that is Luke Winger, but a lot of it is the defense too. But you're missing a lot of core guys that were here last year, especially Owen Almberg and Grant Loughran on the defense. So, but as long as the offense does what it's doing tonight, Titans are in good shape.
Yeah, Carmel in a sticky situation here. They're 0-4 in games that they haven't scored first in this season. They're also 0-3 against teams above 500. So they have quite some adversity to face here in the remainder of this game, already down 3. Pajerski seemed down and hurt, as now he's going to head to the bench. There's a clapper that finds the boards wide. Another shot thrown on. Kamens makes the stop. McCauley with some time flips it forward. Wyatt Sherwood in acceleration, racing away. A 2-on-1. Sherwood fires, and it's saved by Stanley. Jumps on top of the rebound. Nothing there. And he makes a huge save. 9:04 to play.
Luke, not only are the Titans dominating Carmel in the goals scored and the shots, but, I mean, just with the naked eye, those plays that don't end up in a goal. I mean, GBS, this could easily be 7-0 right now. They've had so many odd man rushes going the other way and breakaways that have helped them score, but so many that Gavin Stanley made a save, or maybe GBS lost a connection late in the rush, but just so many opportunities. You got to think head coach Jim Philbin is loving that.
100%. Weller below the net. Pinned. There's Gornick ringing around. Weller. Breakouts have been an easy success so far for the Titans, not seeming to be here. Good forecheck here by the Corsairs. In the near side corner. Hofer moves it up to Freemuth, using the boards with speed. Gornick chasing on Freemuth. Freemuth drops it back for Hofer. He fires one, and it's patted away to the opposite side corner, as the captain will drop it down low. Gornick swoops in on it. Morabito reverses it over to Gornick. He's just going to throw it off the wall and get a change. A yard sale here for the Corsairs. 5 new skaters coming out, and I mean, that's not a bad play, especially if you're tired, you want fresh legs out there.
Of course, and of course the difference in rules here in high school hockey is in the NHL, if you ice the puck, all 6 guys, including the goaltender, have to remain on the ice. You can't make any changes. In high school hockey, you can, so that's a good play if you need some rest.
Vanderplug down low. Here's a fire that finds its way wide. Here's Stevens. Poked off of it by Vavra. Physical down there. Squeaks out to Kulikowski. Trying to make a move. He's hit hard by Vavra. And Deacon Rose tried to use the wall, but he was read well by Mulvey. Nick Ventura, a smooth move to the outside now. Drops it back, a fire and a save from Stanley. Didn't see the rebound at first, but nobody there in time. We get a whistle, 7:01 to play. Shots 15-5 in favor of the Titans.
Fantastic awareness there by Ventura to get the pass back and look for a shot that might fool Stanley as opposed to shooting it himself. I know that it takes a lot of selflessness to do that, especially after you make that first move. I know a lot of guys are going to want to score that goal, so good eyes on him to get that puck back.
Morabito slides it up for Stokel. Stokel, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in 5 games so far. Another one of the, he's tied for first in points with Ligori. Freeman jumps on top of that. Glenbrook South trying to play it wide there on that 3-on-2. 3-on-2, pardon me. Cornick pressured hard. Pin against the boards, trying to use his feet now. He lost his twig. As it really feels like a true 2v1 down there for the Titans, but ends up being the Corsairs that come away with it. Cornick with plenty of time, moves it to Stokel. Thrown in deep, Tutsius recovering. Pajerski gets it back. Now Monaghan. No shooting lane, he's gonna try to throw it across, nobody there as now Pajerski scoops it up. Shot attempt or pass attempt, one of the two was blocked. Now Pajerski letting go, a big shot blocked by Prida, still loose. Now below the net, thrown back to the front, they score! Benji Pajerski, another one tonight.
Luke, that's an unreal pass from below the goal line. I didn't quite see who made the pass, but like you said, second of the night, Benji Pajerski through 5 games with just 2 goals on the year coming into this one. He's now doubled his season total here in the SHL in 1 period, and it just continues for Carmel here, really falling into a hole now, down 4-0 with plenty of time left in the first.
I mean, Pajerski had 2 points headed into this game, and I believe he's already at 3, if I stand corrected.
In this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had an assist on the pass on the Pierce Davidson goal as well, so that's a good pickup by you. 3 points so far.
So already more than his season total prior to this matchup. Mulvey. Over to Vanderplug. Gornick loses his footing, has to play shinny hockey and just kind of throws it to the slot where nobody is. Titans in transition. Davidson fans on it, it left his stick. And a nice play by Pierce Davidson to come back and make the hit. 4.5 to play in period number 1. Flip forward for Monaghan. Taken back by the Corsairs. Leaston drops ahead for Rose. Tipped forward by Vavra. Plenty of time for the Titans to break out here. Offer stripped of it by Gamble. Here's a chance now for the Corsairs. Gamble tries to get off Vanderplug. Too much body contact to maintain possession. Vanderplug looks across the ice. It's another 2-on-1. Hoffer throws it across and it's just too far ahead for Freemuth. Freemuth is nailed! Oh my goodness, what a hit there. Sherwood lets go.
Yeah, Aiden Gamble.
And they really seem to be coming at Freemuth on this shift. And you can tell the physicality is definitely starting to rise. Gamble throws ahead, tipped down by Ligori.
Luke, you know this well. You know, that seems to be what happens here in games like this where it's 4-0 with still a lot of time left in the first period.
Yep. Ligori slightly knocked off the puck, stays with it. Nearly fell over. A no-look shot out in the net. Kamens wasn't even prepared. It's still loose. And Stokel with the final tap. Kamens covers. I don't think anybody saw that shot coming from Ligori. Basically a no-look release.
Yeah, Rocco Ligori has been on this team for quite some time at the varsity level. You talked about how he's tied for the most points coming into this game for Carmel. And you said it, you know, that's one of those shots where he just turns around and fires it, and everyone says, wait a second, did that shot just go on net? But Kamens was prepared, and he hopped on top of the puck to get a whistle. Good job by Eli to stop the clock there.
Morabito coughed it up. Kulikowski trying to throw it across, and Morabito makes a nice play to recover for the Corsairs.
He was looking for Will Stevens with that pass, number 77 for the Titans, and you know he's hungry for his first goal of the SHL season. Scored one in the preseason, but the 3-year veteran on the South Varsity team looking for his first SHL goal of the year.
Corner battle here. Nobody's complete possession yet until it's taken ahead by the Titans. Leading the charge is Ventura. Tons of speed taken down with the stick from Leaston. No penalty. And it's scraped out beyond the blue line. Kulikowski throws it in deep. Havlis trying to break it up the far side boards. Now Freemuth gets in and front fires, and Stanley makes yet another save. His 14th of the period, and now we have a penalty on the Titans.
Yeah, and this is going to be our first penalty of the game. I think we've talked about, you've alluded to it, especially there's been a couple of instances where there could have been a penalty on the play, and that's going to go against Jonathan Cesario. You know, Luke, did you see the penalty? Because I did not. I'm not used to this color thing.
It was a hit quite a ways from the boards, and that was Joshua Bross that took the hit for Carmel. And it's just a pretty good roughing call. Can't argue with it. It was really an unnecessary hit, and now Glenbrook South on the penalty kill. They get it forward. Freemuth maybe looking for a shorty here. He's got Sherwood to his right. A 2-on-1. Across, Sherwood scores! A shorthanded goal. 12 seconds into the Carmel power play, and the first shorthanded goal of SHL play for the Titans.
Well, as soon as Zach Freemuth started skating through the neutral zone, Luke, I saw that he had Wyatt Sherwood, and I knew that he was going to get that puck over to him. Wyatt buried it. That was just clean, too, in and out of the back of the net. And now, Luke, Benji Pajerski with 2 goals on the night. Wyatt Sherwood joins the club, so 2 Titans already on hat-trick watch in the first period.
Here's Rose looking to answer back, and Kamens makes a nice chest save. Still loose, Rose tapping it, and he scores! Deacon Rose, second point of the season, gets the Corsairs on the board.
Quick response is right. And there is Deacon Rose. Highlighted him several times in the broadcast so far. Started on varsity as a freshman in the 2021-22 season, and still here as a junior, obviously. And he was just right there beside the blue paint in the right spot to bury that to the back of the net. And Carmel's on the board. 6 goals here in the first period.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to talk about all the fireworks that have erupted so far.
So how about a shorthanded goal and a power play goal on the same penalty? And by the way, the Titans shorthanded there. All penalty kills are brought to you by Hannah Vanderplug, trial attorneys on the South Hockey Network.
Titans clear. A little bit too much strength there. 1 minute left here in the first period. Icing whistle. Prior to that, Carmel had a 10% power play, dead last in the SHL. They've got it back up with that one there. 1 for 1 on the night.
Yeah, I know that the Titans penalty kill is something that has kind of gone down a little bit from last season. They led the league in penalty kill for most of the year. This year, 71% coming into this game, so that's gone down even further as well. So the Titans, the penalty kill is probably something that they're looking to improve on as the season rolls along, get back to that close to the top of the table as you can based on last year.
Yeah, so they were actually tied for Carmel prior to that goal for last in penalty kill, both 71.4% this season, and that will now take GBS to last overall in penalty kills. So, I mean, it is pretty crazy. They led last year as now a shot off the right iron. A rebound by Sherwood, takes a bounce everywhere. As the action just loves to interrupt me. McCauley throws it on from the center blue line, and Stanley gets his glove on it.
Luke, I know that feeling well. Marty McCauley, talk about a howitzer. Wrist shot from the point, and it was the high slot, or not the point, but the slot. It was the high slot as well, and that drew iron, and I think everyone in the rink heard the ting off the post. I'm sure you heard it at home through our microphones.
Well, that now Freeman. 20 seconds to go in the first period. Can the Titans get their 5-goal lead back before this period ends? Gamble throws ahead for Stokel. 5 seconds to go. Harfer throws it back. And McCauley just going to curl back and let the buzzer sound for period number 1 here. Talk about offense. If you like goals, you got rewarded there.
Yeah, what a period by the Titans. The offense exploded. 5 goals, could have been 10, Luke. And, you know, they've got themselves into a pretty good situation here early on. The rest of the game, and hey, by no means do you take your foot off the gas if you're GBS. And this is not a situation to de-stress because you're in such a good situation. In the SHL, crazy things happen. So you got to keep playing your hardest. And, you know, if you're wondering about the running clock in the SHL with the 5-goal difference, I understand it's a 4-goal difference right now, but in the SHL, if you do get back to that 5-goal difference, the running clock only matters in the 3rd period. So, and if we have a 5-goal difference after 2 periods, then we're going to skip the Zamboni intermission and just play through after the 2nd period. But, I mean, hey, if you're the Titans, let's just get 10. You know, why not? There hasn't been an SHL game with 10 goals by a single team since 2018-19. So this would be a pretty significant moment. I know there were 3 instances where a team scored 9 last year.
Carmel was one of them last year.
Yes, against Barrington. So, you know, so if you're the Titans, don't take your foot off the gas, and why not try it? Let's get to double figures here at Glenview Ice Center.
2nd period brought to you by Gelsert and our presenting sponsor, Wintrust. Bring us all the action. 17 fresh minutes on the board. It's a 5-1 lead for the Titans as they line up, flip sides, and we're off. In the median of periods. Vanderplug racing right in. They have numbers. Tight angle, Stanley there. Vavros, pass intercepted by Hoffer. Drop back for Vanderplug. Rose trying to push it forward. Sherwood was in the way. Titans have it back now at center ice. Mulvey spinning back and sliding it across to Freeman. Vavra over to Leister. Now Rose has it on the far side, dropping it back for Vavra. Fumbled it for a second. Both Vavra brothers out there right now. Benjamin and Maxwell. This puck squeaks loose, and Ligori almost had a scoring chance in the slot. As Rose will take things behind his own goal line. Finds an open Rocco Ligori. Can't calm it down. And it's taken back by the Titans. Pajerski with 2 notches on the night along with an apple. 3 points. At 5 points on the season. Davidson flips it over. Nice effort there by Pajerski, but Carmel stays with it. To the point it goes. Shot wide, comes to Pajerski. Is he looking for the hat trick here? Opportunity washed and cleared by the Corsairs. Offensive zone face-off for the Titans. Nearly 2 minutes into the second period.
Well, Luke, you talked about the hat trick watch for Pajerski and also Wyatt Sherwood while we're at it. The Titans did not have a regular season hat trick last year in the SHL. As a matter of fact, in all competitions, the only hat trick for the Titans was in the SHL playoffs by Zach Freemuth in that series, GBS versus GBN in the SHL playoffs in Game 1. So the Titans already do have a hat trick this season. Zach Freemuth again against the Lake Forest Scouts. And yeah, let's see another hat trick tonight. Too bad there's a net in the way, so no hats will hit the ice. But, you know, let's get some honorary caps thrown.
My team goes up to Madison next weekend, and we have to play Lake Forest, so that'll be fun.
Lake Forest gold or?
Yep, top team.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Luke Jordan plays on Chiefs, which is a high school hockey team out of IHSHL, right?
Yep, North Central. Yep. We're all 5 schools in District 211 combined. Palatine, Fremen, Hoffman, Conan, Schaumburg. And yeah, it's going to be tough playing an SHL level team as a club team that's been struggling in the North Central Champions Division. It's just, I guess good teams make you better at least.
Well, not just an SHL team, Luke, but one that's won 2 games in a row.
Yeah, they've looked a lot better this year. Oh, and a shot wide there. Good chance for Surma. Couldn't capitalize. Nearly got it back to that 5-goal deficit. That would skip the Zamboni clean, like you said.
And that happened in the home opener against Fenwick as well, that 6-0 game. It was 5-0 after 2 periods, and the 5th goal.
Vavra throws it on, saved by Kamens as he pounces on top of the rebound. 13:36 to play.
And the 5th goal, Luke, was scored in the final minute of the second period, so that clinched the no Zamboni when everyone got to go home 10-15 minutes earlier. And maybe even more than that with the running clock as well. So
definitely nice in games that always have a tilted seesaw. As Vavra down low to Rose. Rose, the lone goal scorer for the Corsairs so far. Tries to find Morabito. Here's Havlis. Over to Vavra, across to Rose, and Ventura got his stick in the way of that passing lane. Otherwise, it could have very much have been 5-2.
Yeah, what a play by Nick Ventura there. That was a great passing play by Carmel.
They throw it in front for Rose again, and he misses.
And that was an open net. If he doesn't make that play, I think that's a goal, if not for that.
Leaston throws it on loose rebound, takes a bounce. And now the danger somewhat averted. Back in front of the low slot. Nice play by Kulikowski to use his hand in the defensive zone and get that out of there as Ventura races in, pressured hard by Leister. This puck takes an awkward bounce to the other side. And yet another icing called.
Ventura trying to get a look at both sides of the ice there after making that great defensive play. Just too long for a breakaway pass at the blue line. And He was able to get a somewhat decent look, but it ends up going behind the net. Does force a Carmel icing, though, like you said, so GBS gets the attacking zone faceoff.
Glenbrook South, a team that lost to Carmel on their senior night last year. Dylan witnessed that firsthand. Really coming out strong so far in their most newest battle. Freeman, a backhand pass across, played well by Prita, in front and missing the net just by inches was Sherwood. Now Gamble advances it forward for Stokel. Looking across, intercepted. Lagori looking for options. A smooth move, moves it across to Stokel. Oh my goodness, what a save by Kamens. Lagori takes it back. Up to the point now for Prita. Thrown on, shot blocked by the captain, Freeman. Freeman spins around and gives it over to Hofer. Hofer lets go, and Stanley makes the routine save. Sherwood didn't get to the paint. And now Lagori. Coming in at the same spot, he nearly made a highlight reel pass and finish to Stokel, and the finish from Stokel denied by Kamens. It's Gornick and Hoffer down low. Gornick throws it across and took a ricochet, and now in transition come the Titans. Hofer trying to make a pass across. Falco got his stick in the way. Takes a bounce below the goal line, and nearly a scoring chance there for Monaghan.
Blake Hoffer coming over the blue line right there. That's his second shot on goal in a matter of a minute or so. And Luke, he's the biggest guy out there on the ice for either team. Would you guess he's just a sophomore?
Wow.
Going to be a big talent for GBS hockey for years to come, as he was the points leader in the JV SHL last season. Skips varsity too and comes right up here with the big boys, and he's certainly making it known, making sense that he belongs.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody on Glenbrook South looking real good tonight. Delayed offsides, Monaghan's got to evacuate.
Good effort there by Pierce Davidson to try and stay on sides.
Monaghan now down the far side. Or to Pajerski, who's pushed off. And we'll just patiently wait for somebody to dig it out, and it's Monaghan. Spinning back the other way, looking in front for Davidson. It's going to come to the point now. Bergamini misses. Rebound Monaghan. He's right there on the post, just couldn't get it off in time. And Falco will just clear after a pressure cooker of an offense by the Titans there in that past minute.
Quiet second period so far after the 6 goals in the first period. Nothing on the board through 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, it feels surprising. Hadlin throws it in front, and Rose just couldn't bring it to his forehand. Leeson backhands it forward.
Here we go.
Cesario swoops in on that one. 2-on-1, another odd man opportunity for the Titans. Can they capitalize? Absolutely not, says Gavin Stanley, who makes a nice stop there on Cesario.
Yeah, Aiden Weller looking for his first career varsity SHL goal there. He was also on that JV team last year with Blake Hoffer. A good 2-on-1 and good effort there by Cesario to get that pass over.
I can feel you speaking through the pain there, Dylan.
Oh.
Been there, done that. Vanderploeg just throws it to the opposite corner. Leeson trying to dish it forward, gets it back himself. That will go for an icing.
Halfway through the game here, only 1 penalty so far. It was against GBS, and it's kind of funny. I mean, you look at the 6 goals on the board, 2 of them were scored in that special team situation. GBS with the shorty by Benji Pajerski, excuse me. And then Carmel, Deacon Rose on the power play. Oh, boy.
Ventura throws it to the point, and yeah, these are two teams with great resumes when it comes to discipline. Leading the league right now, or per se the lowest penalty minutes in the league, is actually Glenbrook South. They're lower than any team by 23, and then in second is Carmel with 56. So these are the two most disciplined teams in the SHL, and although it's a lopsided game, it's still been pretty clean for the most part. I'd say there was a good minute there where tensions were rising, but for the most part, I mean, it's been a very clean, good, simple game so far, so can't complain.
We have to agree. Maybe the refs are letting him play just a tad, but yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Stevens with Kulikowski, throws it over, and they score. He's stuck at 5-hole, and it's 6-1 Glenbrook South.
Well, there is the 5-goal differential we were just talking about earlier. And A.J. Kulikowski stay hot to begin the season. The Glenbrook South rookie, that's his 3rd SHL goal so far on the year. And Luke, I believe maybe his 6th or 7th on the entire season as a whole. So, you know, he comes into the program, makes varsity and tryouts, and making an impact immediately.
28 shots here, just barely halfway through.
Really making Gavin Stanley work. And I mean, I do see one backup goaltender for Carmel. I know they have like 5 on their roster, but
yeah, that's Kellen Hurstbold, who has not played a game in SHL play yet. So I'm wondering if he'll get the nod at some point just to relieve Stanley of his duties, because he's basically already played a full game when you look at the stats.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if he comes in the 3rd period.
Thrown in front, Falco almost connected. A little bit of a mishap down in the defensive zone for the Titans. Comes up to Vavra on the defensive line. Sending it across nearly. Oh, too many men there.
Yeah, you got to be careful coming off that bench. Speaking of the benches, Luke, something I want to ask. One thing I love to talk about in the broadcast is the long change in the 2nd period where your bench is on the attacking half. Your attacking half of the rink makes it harder to change if you're being pressured. You know, as a player for Chiefs, what do you think about that? Does it really come into play as much as I think it might, or?
Well, I think there's been plays where I think our guys just don't realize sometimes. Oh, rebound in front, Hofer, he scores! First chance for Hofer on the rebound was saved, but it was coughed up once again, and it's 7-1 Titans. Doesn't look like they're pressing or holding off the gas still.
Yeah, just like we said, and there's Blake Hofer, and well, Luke, take a listen in this place. I mean, it does not feel like GBS just scored a goal. That's how much of a crooked number this is. Everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, well, they still lead by a lot to a little.
To go off what you were saying, I mean, about the long change, it can catch you by surprise. Sometimes you do change and you don't realize you're actually off sides right as you step on the ice. So yes, it does make a difference. Just sometimes, you know?
Yeah. It's very situational. I think that's 7-11, 7-1.
And also, GBS with 31 shots. You flip that around.
Oh, how about
13
that?
For Carmel.
Look at that. I like that scoreboard.
Not as good as tree in the turd.
Gotta love that one.
Said Pat Foley. Man, do I miss him.
Yeah, very much so.
Vavra. Oh boy, Vavra took a high stick to the neck there. They play on. Sherwood moves it over to Freeman, who just slides it wide. Ligori's got to watch out. Puck coughed up, taken by Hofer, who just scored the recent goal. Tutsius has to wait. Freeman was offsides, and he'll just dump it in. Morabito spinning off Freeman. Nice move there. Attempted give and go on the breakout, falls behind, but Ligori's there to scoop it up. Nice puck movement here by the Corsairs. Now entering the offensive zone, Ligori puts one on, and it was redirected wide off the shin pad of McCauley. And look at this, a 2-on-0 right in front for Macaulay. And Falco was there in time, forcing Macaulay out of the low slot. But they had a lot of time at first.
Yeah, boy, Luke, that sort of came out of nowhere. Not sure where the Carmel defense was, but, I mean, you said it, 2-on-0. It's seemingly out of thin air. Wow.
Browse moves it over. Stokel basically covered by 3 Titans there. He had nowhere to go. And it's now flipped forward. Monaghan all alone with Stanley. Fires, and it's straight into the glove of Stanley, making a nice stop with 5.5 to play.
Oh, boy, and Dylan Monaghan, he's appeared on the scorecard a couple of times tonight already, and he looked to the heavens here at Glenview Ice Center, which is one of the tallest ceilings in the rink, and he wanted that one.
Face off cleanly won back to Weller. Putting it forward, Freemuth. In Gretzky's office, now escaping out. Still protecting the puck, carrying it as he gives it over to Weller. Back below the goal line. Thrown to the opposite side point. Vergamini throws it on, takes a tip, and Stanley got a glove on it. Still loose in front, and moved up to Dick. Oh boy, what a save there from Stanley. As we now dip below 5 minutes to play in the second period. The speed has not slowed down. We got a fast-paced 7-1 ball game. Favre moves it over, and Havlis was denied off the glove of K. Means.
Great effort there by Havlis to get open right side. Nice pass across to find him. And he had the right idea, shooting right above Kamen's ear. And Eli sort of awkwardly has to adjust the left arm to get the glove on it, but does so and keeps it just 1 goal on the board for Carmel.
Rose had it for a second. Favre over to Morabito. Shot blocked by Ventura. It's somewhere in his equipment. Wow.
Oh boy, that's what you see on Instagram in the NHL on Reels. And
he's
Ventura trying to find it. There it is. Left leg.
Oh. Physical evidence that he blocked that shot.
Yeah. Too bad you don't keep track of those stats in this league.
Ventura. Below the goal line. Taken away by Vavra. Rose tried to slide it over. Had the pass up to Stevens, but just not enough velocity on it. Falco got in the way in time. And now the Corsairs. Across the ice it goes to Prida. And now into the corner and just smacked out by the Titans. That means they probably want to change, and they'll get one.
Yep. Good eye there. 3:38 to go in the second period, and I mean,
close enough.
You talk about 7 goals on the board, 5 unique scores for the Glenbrook South Titans. Freemuth, not one of those. So he wants to join the party, and I know that if anyone's just going to be playing hard until the final buzzer, it's going to be Freemuth. Not to say any of these guys wouldn't, but he is just such a hard worker out there. Every single shift.
Yeah, I mean, before I even started working for SHL Network, I knew about that guy. He was just always known all over the place for all the magic he pulls. And
it is really incredible. And here for his senior season, he's just turned it up to a different level.
There he goes. Sherwood to his left, slides it across, back over, and Freemuth misses the cage into the netting. And I have never seen a player look down at the ice for that long a time. He is just bummed out. A great give and go, a shake of the head, and another chance. But you know what? Luckily for him, at least his team is still up 6.
Right. At least he didn't do that with 2 minutes left and you're down by 1. But I mean,
positive.
boy, that's about the the most energy this arena has had so far on the night, Luke.
And yeah, Fremont has created a lot of those numbers chances, 2-on-0, 2-on-1, 3-on-2. They've really created all of it, and it's because of the speed that they display on the breakout. I mean, great work by the Titans. They just have not stopped moving their feet. A turnover, Rose in front, they score! That appears to be Jackson Dick who got that one. Off the nice feed from Rose. Rose has 2 points on the night now, and Dick grabs his first goal of the night, second goal of SHL play.
Yeah, and that's one of those, Luke, where it just goes across so fast, and Jackson Dick just gets rid of it in a hurry. I mean, that thing is sitting on his stick blade for maybe 0.2 seconds, and Eli came. It's not a lot of time to react, and Carmel Catholic Corsairs cut the deficit to 5.
Hofer flips it in. Freeman across to Sherwood. Taken away, here's Rose. Can he get the trifecta in points as he slides it over to Dick? Dick now backhanding it over. I believe that was blocked off the body of Vergamini.
Uh-oh.
Official's hand is up. We do have a penalty. We haven't seen many of those tonight.
Yeah, it's going to go against Wyatt Sherwood. That was a cross-check on the near side. You know, he's trying to get the puck there, and you know, no intent to injure from Wyatt Sherwood, obviously, but he's going to get a penalty for that. And Carmel Catholic, who they were successful on their first power play, will get another look, but you know who else is successful on that power play? GBS. They scored a shorty.
Yep, 12 seconds in to that power play, and Glenbrook South penalty kills are brought to you by Hannah Vanderploeg Trial Attorneys as they begin their second conquest of the penalty kill on the night. Ligori slides it down low for Stokel. Now Morabito from the point. It was tipped and patted away by Kamens. Below the net, the Corsairs. Just beyond 20 seconds into this power play. Stokel rips one on. It's off the shin pad of Stevens. Now thrown in front and took a redirection to the other side. Nice play shorthanded by Stevens. They have another 2-on-1. Ventura fires and right into the chest of Stanley it goes. 39 seconds into the man advantage, and oh boy, the Titans almost had their second shorthanded goal tonight.
Yeah, Luke, and you know, I kind of remember a little tidbit from last season. GBS was playing St. Viator in November, and it was the first game with the gold jerseys, and they had 2 shorthanded goals in that game. Tonight is the first game of the season the Titans are wearing these gold jerseys here in late October. And like you said, that was almost shorty number 2, so they already have 1 on the night.
That is probably one of the most impressive memory recollections I've ever heard. I mean,
I just remembered, I mean, 2 shorthanded goals in 1 game is fun, so that sticks in the brain. And then I just happened to remember that was the debut of the gold jerseys, but that's the first time I put those 2 parts of that memory together.
Wow. I'm amazed. As Havlis just missed there on that opportunity. A minute to go now, 40 seconds left on the man advantage. This will carry almost to the end of the second period. As of right now, we would skip the Zamboni cut, but Carmel might have something to say about that. Vanderploeg spins and puts it off the wall to Freemuth. Freemuth trying to find his teammate Pajerski, who's looking for that hat trick, and he's just barely offsides, mistiming it. So we'll get a neutral zone draw with 38.9 seconds to go. That
was a close one, Luke. I think that call could go either way. By the way, gotta say, I know our DJ tonight is Mr. Davidson, and I love that 1 minute to go in the period he's pulling out. I don't see him hold a microphone while he's saying that, so that must be a pre-recorded message, but that's a nice touch. Although no music right now. What's that all about?
I don't know, but Ligori and Ventura are not best buddies, as the linesman is going to have to make them socially distance. Wow, that is something I have not really ever seen.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
No icing. McCauley. Heavy pressure from Gamble. We dip below half a minute left here in the second period. 8 seconds left on the penalty for Sherwood. Glenbrook South, one more clear, and we're at even strength. Fresh out the box, it was Sherwood. Almost had it. Gamble moves it up to Ligori. Ligori under 10 seconds to go as he's taken down. Gamble comes in and makes a big hit. And now we got a penalty on Ligori. He made a slash. And just, if that was intentional, that just not a very sportsmanlike play.
Yeah. And that's Ventura, Nick Ventura down on the ice. He missed some time earlier in the season with golf. He also plays varsity golf, but I mean, man, that is not a good sight to see. He is still on the ice.
Rocco Ligori, big piece of this Corsairs offense, has just been ejected, and he'll get a one-game suspension for that as well. I believe what happened there, he just kind of turns around and just intentionally whacks him.
Yeah, and good call by the ref to get him out of the game, you know.
Yeah, because you know what? He's going to have a target on his back if he's staying in there.
And you know, you never want to do that penalty, but I mean, come on, with 2 seconds left, you can't be making those mistakes like that if you're Carmel. And, you know, Ventura skating to the bench without any help, so that's really good to see. And we'll hope that he returns to this game. And Gerard pulls up a replay now. We get a second look at the situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could. There's a second swipe there. Very obvious that that was intentional. Just not a good look there.
So now the question is, what's the penalty going to be? Because Ligori is thrown out of the game. I mean, do they have to call a 5-minute major there?
I am almost sure yes. Unless, yeah, that would have to be, because otherwise the only way you can get thrown out is if there's under 10 minutes left in the third period and you get a 2 and 10, where you'd have to sit in that box full time. But there's obviously more than 10 minutes left, so there it is, the 5-minute penalty on the board. And I think Ventura might be getting 2 minutes, or he's just checking in with the trainer in the box. One of the two.
I think it's got to be that. I don't know how you give a penalty to him in that situation.
Yeah. They have not put down a penalty for Ventura yet, so.
I think it is just that he's just so he has some space with the trainer. But
yeah, that Titans bench is pretty full, so it would make sense.
We'll have to see who serves the penalty for Carmel. And the Titans, well, what did I say earlier? Something about 10 goals? You're on a 5-minute power play now. It's going to be their first look on the power play of the game, and it's going to carry over into this third period. At this point, we know that we will not have the ice cut, so keep that momentum alive and see what they can do here.
Power plays, even 5-minute power plays, are brought to you by RSM. Glenbrook South, 4 power play goals in 5 games so far, 30.8%, 4 for 13, as they'll get their 14th opportunity of SHL play. Face-off won back by the Corsairs, and the buzzer sounds.
No one sitting in the box for Carmel there.
And also, it appears they're still heading off.
I think the referee's stopping.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Maybe this is Carmel's first time in a 5-goal game. They don't know the rule, but the referee is letting them know that we're just going to continue on here and play through.
So this ice is going to be something.
Yeah, and you know, this is the second home game in a row for GBS where you don't get the ice cut, because this is the same situation against Fenwick. And I mean, 7-2. So not only do we skip the intermission, Luke, but we're going to have that running clock, of course. And so that, I mean, that kind of is a disadvantage for the Titans because they're not going to have the full 5 minutes on the power play. Excuse me, folks. On the power play, they'll get the stoppages. The time will tick off the power play for South. So you're not going to get the full 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes of real time is still a lot of time to work with. And, you know, this game started about 30 minutes late, but it looks like it's going to end right on time.
Yeah, that's a good point. This game is zoomed by.
And now it's going to zoom even more.
Yep.
So what did it start at 7? Puck dropped at 7? I think so.
Yes.
because we didn't start warming up till about 6:54. The game time was supposed to be 6:30 p.m.
Must have been an error in the scheduling, or actually, I did look at the schedule on the board when I walked in. The girls hockey game that was prior to this must have started late.
Yeah.
Because it was timed accordingly.
Huh.
But
how about that girls hockey game, Luke? We saw the Glenview Stars and the Sabres. I mean, you know, if you're watching a GBS fan, you probably like the Stars to win, but the Sabres team with who had way less shots on goal in the game. What was it, like 26 to 8?
25 to 10.
Yeah, and they tied the game 1-1 with 0.5 left on the clock.
Yeah, it was insane.
The whole arena went crazy. That was fun.
Macaulay lost his edge there. Third period, brought to you by PW Jet. As we get a whistle 15 seconds in.
Yeah, it is a running clock. They're just not doing that, so now the ref's coming over to the, yep.
So that'll also take some time off on the power play.
Yeah, there you go.
Defensive zone draw for the team up a man. And scoring a goal would be nice, but it's probably not a priority. Macaulay puts it ahead for Hoffer. Sherwood poked away. Macaulay swoops in and gets it. And now they're in full control here, carrying in the offensive zone. Mulvey pinned up against the boards. Leister trying to clear, and Macaulay keeps it below the blue line with his backhand. Freemuth spinning off of the pressure from Deacon Rose. Into the slot, now to the opposite side. Sherwood couldn't connect. 3:50 left on the power play. Freemuth to the point now for Mulvey. Back to Freemuth, slid to Macaulay. Macaulay, it just bounces over his stick. They'll just throw it off the wall as they'll try to recuperate what they just had. Freemuth double teamed. Corsairs looking to clear. It gets through Macaulay, and now it's a breakaway. Not a breakaway anymore as Mulvey's in there in time. Rose gets by, gets to his forehand, and was denied. Nearly his second goal of the night. Would have been his third point. And now Freemuth doing his dancing as usual, trying to slide it over. Hofer back to Freemuth, he scores! There it is, Dylan. Freemuth a lot of scoring chances, and he gets on the board. And a very hard celly.
Oh boy.
As he'll just head back to the faceoff dot.
Yeah, it skips the handshake line there. And there's number 8. Power play goal for Zach Freemuth. I think he has a couple of those on the season. And he's finally on the board. I mean, it was a 2-on-1. Again, we keep talking about those odd man rushes. They just won't stop, and Zach Freemuth gets the puck over to Hofer, who smartly gets it over to Freemuth, and he scores into a wide open net. Tough night between the pipes for Gavin Stanley. Paul Eberhardt, the head coach, sticking with his original starter here in spite of a tough outing.
Mulvey fires one on, and it missiles left. Mirabito trying to protect the puck. Stevens trying to avoid the pressure. Kulikowski up to Mulvey. Still just below 2 minutes left on that power play. For those of you that are new here, major penalties do not expire after a goal is conceded. There's Stevens, who was trying to get something, tried to move it to the slot. Now comes the point. Mulvey, a clapper, and it's wide.
Come on, 2 more.
2 more. Mulvey, could he cut it down to 1? And a nice save there from Stanley instead.
Again, if you weren't with us earlier, no team in the SHL has gotten to double digits since the 2018-19 season. So I made a prediction after the first period of 10 goals for the Titans, and well, close.
Almost there. 13 minutes of running clock to go. And now we're dipping below a minute left on the man advantage.
Shoot, that running clock doesn't help me, does it?
Not at all. Ligoris. Major penalty. The reason that they could maybe grab another here. McCauley throws it on, rebound, oh boy, Monaghan almost made it 9. I think that might have hit the stick of Stanley. It hit something and missed wide right.
Oh, look at that snow buildup by the bench.
Oh my gosh, yeah. As Leeson just throws it in. 25 seconds left for the 5-on-4. See if they can get one more chance.
Ooh.
They got a 4-on-2. Davidson across to Pajerski for the hat trick. No, pass just a little bit too far ahead, and Stanley gets his glove on it for the whistle. And that'll expire the rest of the 5-minute penalty on the Corsairs, and we'll be back at even strength by the time of the next face-off.
That was a really good pass to set up Pajerski off the boards around one defender. And then Pajerski, like you said, just shy of a hat trick. Again, Pajerski and Sherwood both on hat trick watch tonight. 6 different goal scorers for Glenbrook South here in this one.
Freeman down in the corner as the music continued on. Weller puts it off the wall. 11.5 to go. Glenbrook South only with 1 goal last time they played Carmel. It's a new year, apparently. Titans 1 shot away from 40. Stokel trying to get a shot in the slot, and it just escaped off of his twig. As Gornick all the way back for the Corsairs. Over to Stokel. Stokel gonna hit on the brakes.
Yeah. No, Stokel.
Stokel.
Oh, Gerard.
Rose over to Stokel. Backhanding it to the middle. Rose had his foot on it for a second. Stokel slides it back over. Rose releases, and it's punched away. Comes up to Gamble, who lost it there to Ventura. Good to see him back in action.
Yeah. Seriously.
For those of you that are new here, he took the intentional slash from Rocco Liguri. Was down on the ice without a helmet for quite some time, and good to see him back, as now Stevens. Favre defending.
Good hustle there by Stevens to get to that puck.
Single-digit minutes left to play here in the finale of periods. Nice moves here by Vavra. To the near side for Stokel, trying to throw it on, and pushing it away with the stick was Kamens. And this puck will flutter its way, take a roll, and literally get stuck right above the home bench. If you're listening on radio, I have no idea how to describe that.
Yeah.
And if you saw it on video, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What do you even call that?
I don't know. And Luke, you know, I don't know how many times you've been to this Glenview Ice Center, but as you're driving in, there's kind of 5 windows that you can see from the parking lot, and there's like a figure skater silhouette on there, and that's what those are. And those little screen type looking things right behind the benches here at Glenview Ice Center, and yeah, there's just a little ledge countertop, and the puck got stuck, and it probably is going to stay there for a few years, if we're being real.
Yeah. Brels trying to slide it forward for Rose, who's been all over the puck so far in this period. Kamens made a nice save on him earlier. Vanderploeg. Sherwood just dumping in. It's the Titans on that puck first, and they try to slide it to the slot. Nobody present. This will come all the way down. Kamens gonna let it go. The clock will run on as we get a whistle.
And look at this, clockception, 8:14 in real time and in game time. And you know, Gavin Stanley between the pipes, in spite of allowing 8 goals, I gotta say, he's had a pretty good night, Luke. He's made a couple of really nice looking saves. Doesn't make a save there, but just in general, I think it's been impressive stuff between the pipes. And like I said a couple of times, this could easily be 15-16 nothing GBS right now, and Stanley's a big reason that it's not. You know, you're never going to be happy with 8 goals allowed if you're a goaltender, but still some pretty quality stops.
Yeah, 100%. And Macaulay trying to slide over. And what I was trying to say, I'm going to interrupt myself again. Here's Stokel on the left side trying to get by. Spinning it to the middle. And taken away by the Titans, Pajerski. Monaghan slides it across. Pajerski for the hat trick, no. Puck thrown on, tipped and saved by Stanley amidst the redirection.
Yeah, boy, would Benji Pajerski love a hat trick here. Unbelievable preseason, slow start to the SHL season, but not in this game. He's looked sharp. I know we know he has at least 3 points in the game, and it would be his first career Glenbrook South varsity hat trick.
The Vavra brothers connect there, and the shot was blocked. And I'd like to teleport about what you're talking about, the goalie, Stanley, how he's playing good, and you look at the Corsairs goaltender stats, I mean, they're nothing great, but you know what? They have played some really tough teams to start to their 1-4 record.
Yeah, tough schedule for Carmel. Their only win of the season against the Stevenson Patriots, who have been struggling a little bit to start the year. Hard to believe that with the record they have, they won state 2022. Penalty coming up.
That's on the Corsairs. Cesario was clipped in center ice, and they caught it. Smart play here by Vergamini just to take it out and let things settle. You got an empty net, you got an extra skater.
Whew.
Freeman dancing over to Cesario, who drew the penalty. Weller trying to throw it on, that took a tip. Sherwood. Nice puck movement here. Official's hand getting tired. Surma. Over, fire, blockered away. Glenbrook South still pushing. And now we finally get a whistle. And the penalty will be assessed. Did not catch the number off the original hit, but let's see who makes their travel into the sin bin here.
Well, the referee has to make sure he remembers after such a long delayed call. And Luke, I thought we were watching the Harlem Globetrotters out there with the way the Titans were moving that puck around. I mean, that was just really impressive stuff. And it wasn't just generic basic passes. They were throwing it behind the back, no look passes, and to stay alive on the delayed penalty.
Don't forget, power plays are brought to you here by RSM.
Great opportunity to get number 9 right now.
Vavra sliding it back to Barras. Some nice possession here from the Corsairs. Short-handed as Leeson tried to zip one to the top corner and it just flies over the crossbar. Corsairs having to reset back in their own zone. They are short-handed. And they cough it up right near the blue line. Ventura putting one on. That's a loose puck. Stanley didn't expect that. He looked at his glove right after that occurred. I think he thought for sure he had it, but now he just readjusted his glove. I think he might have had his hand loose in that equipment or something. Very bizarre. Freeman takes it out of the defensive zone. It gets coughed up to Macaulay. Macaulay on his backhand. Oh my goodness. Tell you what, we had an ice make. That might have worked.
Yeah.
He had it for a second.
Oh, that would have been great.
Freeman drops it back, 3-on-2. Davidson back to Freeman, back across to Monaghan off the side of the net. And Freeman back to Monaghan. Great possession here. 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Falco swoops in to get this one. Comes to the point now. Macaulay puts one on. It's right into the chest of not Stanley, but Falco, the defender, with the shot block there. Tutsius across to Macaulay. Macaulay across, one-timer. Pierce Davidson scores! Does some push-ups as he grabs his second of the night.
So now he joins Benji Pajerski and Wyatt Sherwood Piers Davidson now with 2 goals on the night. And Luke, that's number 9 for GBS.
3 minutes left.
Yeah, number 10 coming up. But I do want to say that GBS earlier this season scored 8 goals against Lake Forest, and that was only the second time they've ever done that in SHL history. Now this is the first time they've scored 9 in an SHL game, and Stanley just pushed the net off of its posts. He wants to waste some time.
His pegs must have been off or something.
Oh, no, we didn't catch it on our cameras, but he just literally on purpose pushed it off.
Huh. I think he's had enough.
And it helps him because the clock keeps running.
He does not want GBS in double digits. He's not a fan.
No, he doesn't like my prediction. He's got the broadcast going in his earbud, and he said anything for Dylan Ward to be wrong. I mean, I don't think the refs saw that, but there should be a penalty on that.
I think Stanley's got his earphones in down there listening to us too.
All right, there you go. Net's on.
2 minutes now.
Let's get back to business.
So we've seen some bizarre things. That's definitely, if not at the top, up there.
Oh.
As Weller puts it on. It was blocked. Looking for 10 goals. Pajerski between the legs pass. It's loose in front. Smacked at. Now Monaghan spinning to Pajerski for the hat trick. He scores. 10 goals for the Titans. The first time a team has hit 10 since the 2018-19 season, as cited by Dylan Ward, and they have hit that milestone.
Wow, you said it, Luke. First time in an SHL game a team has scored 10 since the 2018-19 season. That is pre-pandemic by an entire season's worth. And what do you know? Sorry about that, Gavin Stanley, but that tactic did not work, and there is goal number 10.
It only took them less than a minute off that draw.
Oh, how about 11?
Always need insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make a move there was Prita. Now it's Dick. He's got one of the goals for Carmel tonight. Rose the other. 91 and 92 with goal number 1 and number 2 for the Corsairs in their 2-goal performance. Here's Monaghan. Can he make it 11? He's bodied off by the opposing 92 Rose. A nice hit there, and Monaghan goes sliding into the post. A clean play, just an unfortunate landing. Nice back check there by Deacon Rose, and that'll do it here as the time will slowly burn its way down to 0. 10 seconds to go, but everybody knows this one has finalized. A 10-2 scoreline in favor for the Titans. They had fun tonight. Ideal way to spend a Saturday night for one, not so ideal for the other, but at least you're playing hockey, right?
Yeah, and GBS gets off the schneid. That Sunday was a tough loss against Loyola Gold, 5-1. And Glenbrook South just responds in a huge way, 10-2 here at the Glenview Ice Center. The first time GBS has ever scored 10 in an SHL game, and it's only the second time I have ever seen GBS put 10 in the back of the net since I started working for this club. And go figure, I'm too sick to call the game. But hey, Luke, you did a great job here on the South Hockey Network.
I appreciate it, and I just happen to be lucky enough to witness history.
Yeah.
So how about that?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
We thank you all for being here on this Saturday night. As we're gonna turn it over to us one more time, so you can see the height. So you can see the height difference between me and Dylan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, very fun matchup. If you had to give a star of the game, who would you nod it to? I hate to put you on the spot.
I think the obvious answer is Benji Pajerski. He goes ahead, gets the hat trick. At least one more assist. We're going to have to check the tape and see if he got a couple more of those apples. But Benji Pajerski, I mean, good for him, man. He's second year on this team, and I'm trying to remember the last time he scored 2 goals in a game, let alone 3. So Benji Pajerski, you get my number 1 star.
Pajerski, 5 goals now on the season in 6 games of SHL play. We thank you all so much for being here on this Saturday night. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Luke Jordan and Dylan Ward bringing you the action on South Hockey Network.
One more thing I want to add just before we sign off is Luke did an incredible job tonight, and he's on the SHL Network with me. Really appreciate him stepping in when, this morning I was hoping all week that I would feel better for this game, but I just didn't. There's no way I could get through a play-by-play. So if you want to follow him and his broadcasting journey, I know you have a broadcasting-specific Instagram.
Yes.
Luke Jordan Broadcasting, is it as simple as that?
Yes, don't forget Jordan is spelled Jorden because as I talked to Gerard, a lot of my friends still spell that wrong. So Jorden. The Luke is pretty simple, and the broadcasting is as you would spell broadcasting.
So Luke, great job tonight. Had a lot of fun doing this with you. And for everyone who is missing my voice, I'm planning on being back behind the mic on Monday night against St. Ignatius. That's South's next game. 9:10 start at Fifth Third Arena down on the west side of Chicago. So I assume there will be a lot of people tuned into that one instead of at the barn.
Oh,
so
100%.
We'll see you there on YouTube.
Well, thank you all for your hospitality for me. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you around.